G'day YouTube, welcome back to my channel Bonsai Works. I've been very busy with real world and real life, haven't had a chance to do any videos lately, so apologise for that. I've been very hectic and haven't been able to get out here. It is winter here in Melbourne though, so there's not a huge amount of things to do just yet. Still early days in the winter, so I haven't really prepared my soil or got ready for repotting, but I'm still working through my pines. Haven't even bud selected all of them, so I've still got a bit of work to do there. But I wanted to talk about, today was a bit more of a topic around branching, and hard to explain how to title this. I was trying to think of a title, but how to build branches, I guess, or how to position branches, especially when you don't have them in the right spot. And that's pretty much what I want to talk about, and it hopefully helps beginners out there to understand, you know, the rules they talk about, or the guidelines they talk about in bonsai, having left, right, back. It's just a bit too ridiculous. But to understand why that's been actually talked about and discussed, and why they are guidelines. Now, one thing I'll talk about is actually you need to have a balanced tree, right? Balanced tree means a three-dimensional tree with branches all around, in filling every gap, or trying to fill gaps, trying to have a three-dimensional look of a tree. So just a quick thing. See, this tree is quite tall, but it does have full. You can see if I spin it around, you see how it comes to the front a little bit. You know, it's a full tree. Like, it's got three dimensions. Got back branches, side branches, branches at the top. You know, it's branches everywhere. So it looks like a full tree. You don't have left, right, and a back branch, and there's like little bits of foliage on it. You know, that's one of the things I really trying to avoid, having a branch straight out here, you know, and a straight out there. It doesn't work sometimes. For example, this tree is a really good example of branches not in the right spot, but I've been able to move them into the right spot. Right, I'll do close-ups, but let's talk about this branch here. This is the first main heavy branch. The first branch, it gives the whole tree balance. It's a big branch, and I'll show you the close-up. This actual branch doesn't come from any of the sides here, where we think it should come from. It actually comes from the back, and I've bent it around over time. It goes right around and comes down. It goes right around and comes down. And I'll show you that in a minute to show you the close-up of that branch. And I'll show you the branching, and I'll talk you through why I do what I do. So it starts at the back, comes all the way around, and sits towards. You can see the front, that's the side, so you can see it's more forward. See how it's forward, it's pointing forward, and it gives it that balance, a nice forward branch to kind of encourage you to come in, you know, inviting you in, as they say. This whole tree also leans forward, you can see that. If I pull to the side, see how it's leaning forward, it's encouraging you in, and it's inviting you in to come and have a look. I haven't told you yet, but I have been trying to, whilst I was bud selecting this tree, I thought, this is a good topic to discuss. So that's one branch. Then there's this branch, for example, here. I don't know if you can see this. There's a branch up here. This branch here. There's no branch on the side here coming out. It's actually, again, starting at the back, coming around, and coming to the front. Starting at the back, coming around, coming to the front. I should bring you close-ups later, but we'll see how we go. Then they've got a back branch, and that's kind of sitting in the back. But what you can't really make out is it's actually quite a large branch, and I've branched it out to go. One branch goes this way, one branch goes this way, and there's a branch closer up here that comes over here and comes over this way. So it's almost given us a huge fan right at the back to fill in all the gaps. Okay, so it's filling in the gaps. And you see this branch in here now. There's a bit of a bare part along this trunk. When there's a bare part here, this branch in the back here comes forward and tries to block that out. So it's a bit of a trick, you know, filling in gaps by bending branches around and filling those spots. Keep going up the tree, it gets better. So more accurate branching. This is kind of coming out the side, and I'll put some bends and twists into it, and you'll see that. An interesting one I'll show you at the back over here is I've had a really long branch, right? So I'll show you how I've contorted it right back down. I made it very small, and it sits in here, nice small branch. That's the other thing. Also, this tree, it's taken me a while to eliminate all the bar branching, and I'm pretty much done. I think I've got all the bar branching off this tree. So you can see, unfortunately, there's been some swelling before I got the tree. There's some swelling in different parts. It is what it is. We can't avoid all that sometimes, but at least now I won't swell in those spots as badly. There's lots of little gins here where I've removed branches, so that's another topic. But really, it's all about how the branching moves and maneuvers around and how we twist it around. But now I'll come in and I'll show you the close-ups of what I just talked about. Alright, now I talked about that first branch, how it sits now. You can see it's sitting in there, that first branch. But let's have a look at the close-up. See how it's at the back? And see how I've bent it right around? It's almost like a 90-degree or more angle change. I'm going back, I've been able to twist it around, follow it through, and fill in the branching. You can see there's there's all mostly 2s everywhere. I think I've got 1 3 left, but 2 2 2 2, and then filling out all towards the end. Okay, so you see that. Now I did talk about this branch also back here. This one here is at the back. Remember, it's a big fan. Now I've bent this branch around right around to then fill in this bare gap that I've got here on this branch. So see how it's filling out this area? It kind of creates, there looks like a branch there, and it fills in that gap. See how it fills in that gap? And see, this is the fan that I talked about. Made a nice big fan shape at the back, and that really fills in that gap, keeps it short and concise. Now I'll move around here. Oops, got a bit of work to do. But again, I talked about this branch. Where is it? You see this branch in here? Again, starting at the back, all the way around, and then sitting in here, and then sitting in here. So I created 2 layers with this branch. 2 layers, 1 layer, 2 layers. So that's what I did with that branch. That's what I mean. So if you don't have branching in the right place, you need to create it. Okay. Coming up the tree here, it's a bit better placement of branches, so that's not too bad. As I said, I've eliminated most of the 3 in one spot, but we're still working through that. I just want to spin it around here and show you this one, right? So this one was a key one here. This branch in here is quite heavy, and I've taken off the end of it, which was really heavy. And then you can see this branch, how I've twisted it right back on itself, then brought it out and shortened into this branch. So you can see it's a nice little branch that's been layered. But you can see how nice that is. But if that wasn't bent, it'll be way out here. So I've contorted it, pushed it all the way back. See how it's pushed all the way back? I could give you even a bit more, but I don't need to because it's kind of in the right place now. I hope that makes sense. It's pretty clear there, that's there. Also see, you've got other sub-branching happening. That branch in here can be wide and filled into this gap. So you don't have to have left, right, left, right, left, right. You can bend branches and put them anywhere you want, kind of thing. So then the apex is pretty new and young and still being built. But the key bits are there. Even this one, for example, I just saw this one. Starts at the back, comes around and fills in the side. See that? Comes around, fills in the side and comes out here. Okay, so that's what I was trying to talk about. Is doesn't matter where the branch starts or where it finishes, and keep the movement going. Like you can see, for example, this branch, it's got nice movement, twists and bends. I've tried to make bends and twists into it, so it follows its shapes, creating layers as we go. You see what I mean? So the whole branch twists and bends. Whole branch twists and bends. It doesn't have to be straight. It shouldn't be straight if don't have a formal upright. If you've got a formal upright, yeah, I get it. But these nice twisted up trunks. I mean, that trunk is bent and twisted and gnarly and interesting. You've got to have the same structure, or the same structure in the branches that you would have otherwise. So that's the point. So anyway, I babbled on too long, but I really want to emphasize that point, especially for new people. Don't worry about, if you don't have a branch in the right spot, you can bend it into the spot you want it to be. And over time, no one will even notice where it's coming out of, because the foliage will cover it. Especially this with conifers, you can do that. Maples and stuff is a bit harder, but still doable. It doesn't matter, because in real world, you're never going to have a branch come out of the exact right spot that you exactly want it. It's very rare. So that's what you got to think about. You can manipulate, move things around to get it in the right spot. All right, everyone, so there you go. There's the close-up. So what I was talking about, I hope that makes sense. Okay, so especially new people, don't be too concerned about some of those rules and guidelines that people give you. It is all about, actually building depth, building structure to the tree, and using whatever you've got to put those branches into place. Don't worry. Why? That's why we wire trees. It doesn't have to be perfectly come out at the perfect angle. If it doesn't, then you kind of cut it off. I see way too many branches cut off trees that shouldn't be. and way too much foliage taken off trees that shouldn't be. You know, it's like, do it slowly, do it gradually, put branches into, maybe you'll pull 1 or 2 branches into place at the start and then build the tree slowly. You don't have to do it in one go. We're not, you know, I'm just a backyard person like most people out there who watch these videos. The experts have got magnificent nurseries, magnificent trees to work on, and have looked after those trees for ages and got them so healthy, but they've got all the branching and then they rely on maneuver. Like, that's what they do, they're experts, and they're the best at the best of the best. But in the backyard, don't be rushed to do the same thing. Sometimes it's not ready to be done. So, but think about just slowly building the tree. I mean, this tree had so much heavy foliage at the top, heavy branches, that I was reducing over years to cut all that back slowly before I even started to try and wire and position branches into place. So there's always this step-by-step process. I never do too much to a tree if it's not healthy enough. So that's another key point. But anyway, it's all about branching today, how to create the branching, where to get branches come from, and things like that. So anyway, guys, sorry I've been away, but I'll try and do some more as we come into middle of winter and late winter with replanting season, things like that, and we'll see what it's all about. Thanks anyway. Thanks for watching, and stay tuned. Bye.